Back to the US now, where 20 minutes into the vice presidential debate, the focus was on differences in issues and policy rather than personal attacks. But without Trump on the stage, many argue the debate is currently devoid of major fireworks. But perhaps it was nerves, perhaps he didn't quite master the facts. But Tim Walz stumbled on the first question, which focused on the conflict in the Middle East. But the head-to-head also turned to one of the most hot-button topics of the 2024 presidential election in the US, which is immigration. For the latest, let's go across to Nick Harper, who joins us live. Nick, we're hearing that the stakes are considered higher than normal at a vice presidential debate. Take us through the key takeaways from the debate so far, and whose performance has been considered stronger as we speak?
Yeah, on that first point, it's certainly being billed as something that could be more consequential than usual, largely because the opinion polls are so incredibly tight. Just 5 weeks out from the election, there is really only a percentage point separating Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in many of those swing states. He leads in some, she leads in the other. And this is also perhaps the last big set piece for both parties, really the last opportunity that voters will get to see the campaigns and hear from the people who are the vice presidential picks. There is not a second presidential debate in the works. There's only been one so far, and there's only one vice presidential debate on the card. So potentially no other big matchup in the next 5 weeks. So the thinking is that there will be millions of people currently watching this debate. There's still about another 4 or 5 minutes left to run on it. But already we've heard plenty of topics talking about the Iran attack on Israel earlier today, but also focusing on more domestic issues like the economy, abortion, and immigration. Really, so far, in many ways, J.D. Vance, the Republican, the running mate of Donald Trump, has seemed more at ease. He's been able to go on the attack, while Tim Walz has been largely on the defensive, having to defend Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's administration over the last 3.5 years. He hasn't seemed quite as at ease, and he's had some moments where he has become quite hot-headed, perhaps not keeping his cool as much as J.D. Vance has done. However, he has dug into policy much more than J.D. Vance, who so far has made a whole range of rather sweeping statements. A couple of times he's even been fact-checked by the moderators who, in advance of this debate, said that they would not do so. But certainly a whole range of topics that they've managed to get through so far tonight.
Well, Nick, as always, thanks so much for joining us with the latest lowdown from Ground Zero. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates.